I mean, like, what did we just watch right now? I know I have a mask on. I'm at my grandparents' house. I was watching the game here for them because they just had their 59th anniversary. Just a little shout out to my grandparents for such an amazing, loving relationship. I mean, they yell at each other all the time, but who cares? 59 years, you don't make it that far without, not liking each other a little bit. But let's get to the task at hand. The Miami Heat just forced a game 6 against the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, bickering, but against the Los Angeles Lakers, and just had a, just another unbelievable performance from Jimmy Butler. Another ridiculous performance from LeBron. This is easily the best game LeBron James has had, and it did not matter. He'd still win and force this game 6. I know it looks like I'm sweating because I mean, if you're not sweating after this game, you're not a Heat fan. Like, you are not a diehard Heat fan because, bro, like, this was such a close game down the stretch. It was back and forth. LeBron getting buckets, Jimmy Butler getting buckets, and it was back. This is one of the most historic battles between two superstars I have seen ever. Ever. I can't think of any person like back when the Big Three era, when we even when Golden State were going at like LeBron and KD, just didn't feel like this. I mean, maybe because I'm not either a fan of either of those two teams and I have a stake in this, but it's just I don't feel it. I don't feel the same way. Like, Jimmy Butler has taken himself into a different stratosphere with this NBA Finals. Like, if people don't think he's a top 10 player after what he's putting up now, I don't know what he needs to do to really put him in that stage. But let's just talk about this game, and then we'll get into Jimmy Butler and everything, because there is so much to talk about with this game. So your Miami Heat defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 111-108. And I mean, this was about as tight as it gets. Not a single quarter was won by more than 3 points. The Lakers, we won the first quarter by 1, then the second by 3, and then the third by 2. But then the Lakers won the next quarter by 3. So it was just, I was losing my mind. I was losing my mind in this game. And I mean, Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 5 steals, and 1 block. He played 47 minutes. 47 minutes. He didn't play any, but he missed 47 seconds of this game, I believe. And they had to put him back out there because this guy is just doing it all for us. And it's so astonishing to see what he's been doing for us. Literally, I can't even put it into words what he has done for us in this series. There was a stat that I saw, like, that since game 3 or since game 2, Jimmy Butler has played all but, I think it's since since game 1, like game 2 to now, Jimmy Butler has played all but 14 minutes. In those 4 games, he's only sat for 14 minutes. This man is the epitome of a superstar, doing everything on both ends. He's scoring for us, setting us up on one side, while literally covering LeBron every single time down the floor. That is unbelievable. I'm literally lost for words from what I just saw in this game. And I'm sure most of you are as well, because I'm going to say this is the best Miami Heat game I have ever watched. For the Heat to battle back without one of their top offensive players on the team, obviously Dragic is missing, to see Jimmy Butler just absolutely go off, Duncan Robinson finally having one of these huge games that we needed, and we needed every single one of those 7 3-pointers that he put up. 7 for 13. This is the best game he's had. And I remember it's so funny because literally 5 Reasons Sports was talking about it today, about stock up and stock down on players. And they had Duncan Robinson as one of the players that were stock down. And I understand where they were coming from because he was not having any big games. Yes, the gravity was still there, but he was getting, attacked on the defensive end. And if he's not giving us those 5, 6 3-point games, like, at all, he's a little bit of a liability. And then they said, well, that could all change because he could always put up 7 in game 5, 6 in game 6, and then another 8 in game 7, and we win the title and he's good. And he's He's already 1/3 of the way there with 7 3-pointers in this game. Just absolutely unbelievable from him. It's that one play where it kind of looked like it was a dead play with Jimmy going inside, and he rushed to the top of the key, had 2 Lakers players hit each other. It was like KCP and Caruso. Wide open, shoots that shot, nothing but net. That man was on a mission today, and we did this with Bam Adebayo having one of the worst offensive games he's had in these entire playoffs. I'm actually going to go and say it's the worst offensive game he's had in these entire playoffs. It felt like he couldn't get anything going. Obviously Anthony Davis is an amazing defender, but then even when he had that open dunk, like it was like, one guy was there, but he was wide open. He missed it. It was just like nothing can go right for Bam Adebayo on the offensive end. Now on the defensive end, the man was a beast. That one block he got at the end of the third quarter on Rajon Rondo, the incredible defense he played on LeBron James, which if I'm the Miami Heat, I would honestly just put Bam Adebayo on LeBron James. That's the only thing I would change. I understand Jimmy Butler covering him has been good as well, but Jimmy Butler needs his rest. And if you can put, you put Jay Crowder on Anthony Davis, and I know Bam has been great against Anthony Davis, but LeBron James just has been absolutely killing us. And obviously they're going to do those switches, but it's a lot easier to help off a switch with Bam Adebayo being the guy you need to help. It's a lot easier because his wingspan's way better. He's much quicker, and if LeBron does happen to beat him, he has a way better chance of blocking that shot over Jimmy Butler. And now this is no detriment to what Jimmy Butler did tonight. I mean, I'm just saying that just to give him some more rest, not have him cover literally the best player on the other floor on one side and have him do everything on offense on the other side. We need him to be, rested. And that I think that would be the perfect change, because every single time LeBron James was covered by Bam Adebayo, he didn't have an answer. And the perfect and like that one great defensive play when Bam Adebayo was covering him out on the 3-point line, he tried driving in. Bam was right there to stop him. He tried bullying him, not going to happen, and then he passed it in, and Jimmy Butler stole it. I think the Heat found something there that can work going into Game 6. I know that might leave stuff open for Anthony Davis, but the thing is, I feel like the double teams have worked out super well on Anthony Davis. And if you put, if Jay Crowder's covering him, you bring in Tyler Hero, you force the 3-point shooters to shoot. You saw it today. When they needed to make the big buckets, it did not matter. They did not make them. You got to live with that. You have to live with that. And I think in the end, that'll be beneficial to us. So you need to have Bam Adebayo on LeBron James going into Game 6. I feel like that's the one thing that the Heat need to change. Now, next, Jay Crowder continues. Yes, bananas. I don't know. But yes, the next thing, Jay Crowder, I mean, again, 2 for 9 from the 3-point line, was a non-factor on that end. But, on defense, still does what he always does, toughness and all that. But he came up with some big buckets. That 3-point, that 4-point play that he made towards the end of the third quarter, but the thing is, we need more from him. Like it's really crazy the fact that we were able to get all the this win with him shooting 2 for 9. I mean, I know we got Hero 2 for 3, he had 12 points. He didn't even have that great of a game. But then you look at Bam, 13, 4, and 4. Like that's not a good Bam Adebayo game. You need more there. And then, but Kendrick Nunn, man. Kendrick Nunn was, in my opinion, obviously you got Duncan Robinson, but he was the 3rd best player on the floor tonight for the Miami Heat. The 3rd best player on the floor was Kendrick Nunn in this game. To give you 14 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, he was a +3 on the floor. It was just huge for us all night. And whenever he was on the floor, he finally didn't feel like a liability. They were talking also, like I keep talking about 5 Reasons Sports. Whenever Kendrick Nunn was on the floor, they would, they would just get beat. It was like no more Kendrick Nunn minutes. That's the way it was flowing. But Eric Spoelstra still relied on his guy, and he came through for us. He really did. There were some shots that I was a little like, come on, Nunn, you got to be smarter. But overall, he played a great game, and we're going to need more of that in Game 6 if we are going to take this to a Game 7, which is the best 2 words in sports. But of course, we can't look at that right now. We have to just look at Game 6. And before I finish this up, I want to talk about the Lakers. Anthony Davis getting hurt, at least getting a lingering issue early in the game. It kind of looked like it affected him a bit. I mean, he still made a couple shots here and there, but he wasn't his aggressive self, and that certainly helped us. But I still don't think that he would have done anything against Bam Adebayo on the defensive end because he was just unbelievable tonight. But, bro, LeBron James, I know I've already talked about him in the beginning of this game, but, bro, LeBron James was just everywhere tonight. I mean, how many three-pointers did he make tonight? He made 6 of 9 three-pointers. That is not happening again. I'm guaranteeing it right now. He is not making 6 three-pointers in any other game in this series. So the Heat got the LeBron James game, and they were able to sustain a lead even with him having one of his best performances in the finals. One of his best shooting performances in the finals. That was it right there. That was it right there. It was like anything he shot, he was going to make. And like they were saying in the broadcast, when LeBron James is making these shots, you're usually losing. And they're right. They're right, because how else can you guard LeBron James? If you can't let him shoot the ball, he's going to drive past you and he's going to get whatever he wants. You have to let him shoot, and he was just making every bucket. You still got 28 and 12 from Anthony Davis, so it's not like he was terrible in this game, shooting 9 of 15. So they got 2, and they got a good Caldwell Pope game, 16 points, but it just did not matter. The Miami Heat were able to, handle it and stick to their game plan and get this W. I mean, huge. I cannot say it enough. Huge victory for the Miami Heat. Probably the biggest victory till now, because if they win Game 6, that would be the biggest win. And of course, if they win Game 7, I'm losing my mind. And that's obviously the greatest performance in Heat history. So this was a huge win, big time game from the Miami Heat, biggest win in their history. And let's see what happens in Game 6. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe for any future Miami Heat content. I'll catch you guys later.